Hello, welcome to another episode of the G.I. Joe New News Classified Review. I am David Allen. Thank you, everybody in the chat, for joining me this morning. Thank you. It is time to do another vintage packaged figure, and that is Cobra Commander version 1. So this is an interesting one. I always say that these things are interesting because they're interesting to me. I don't know if they're interesting to anybody else, but they're definitely interesting to me because in the HasLab Hiss, we got this one, and now we got this one. So there's a couple of differences right off the bat from this one to this one. Now, I didn't open up this one because I thought it was a fairly rare item and I did not want to unmint it or unbox it or whatever. So I left it in its package. But then they did this one, and so you can see the border around there is different. This is the Mickey Mouse one, so you can see on there's a Mickey Mouse logo there, and also the package is slightly different as well. It has Cobra the enemy, that little print that it used to have back in the vintage package was there. They put the one on this one up on the top. No, this one on the top. See up there on the top. And so they changed the package. So one is Mickey Mouse, one is regular. There's slightly different decos as well. The one we're going to open has the white on the top, and it has a lot more white detail, and it has a vac metallized face mask, whereas the classified HasLab Hiss did not. It does not have the white. It does not have the vac metallized thing. It's got more black details. So we'll go over that as we open this one up, and we'll showcase the different details. Just looking at some of the accessories, it doesn't have the snake around the earth. It doesn't have the knife. But it has the gun and all the hands. So with just two of the items in the accessories are not included. Oh, actually, it does have the knife. The knife is down there. So it has everything except for the globe with the snake around it. And they both have, this one doesn't have a stand, and this one does have a stand. So there's some more differences. But we're going to go into a little bit of the history of Cobra Commander first before we get into anything else. So obviously we're going to go to Dan Klingsmith's series of books. This is volume 2 of Creating G.I. Joe, A Real American Hero by Dan Klingsmith. So let's get into that. Cobra Commander. He has several pages to go over. So we're gonna go over this one first. So you can see those different ideations up there in the corner. You see that large ideation and then some other bottom ideations there of different sculpts and different design aesthetics that they were going for the commander, trying to figure out what he would look like. Because he was not, Cobra was not initially part of the G.I. Joe original plan. That was something that I believe Steve Gerber at a Marvel meeting for G.I. Joe the comic asked the question to the Hasbro executives, Kurt Bazigi and people there. Well, you know, this is a really cool military themed line, but who are they going to fight? What adversaries are there? What difficulties are they going to have to go up against? What challenges? And so I believe Steve Gerber is the one that created Cobra, or suggested Cobra, because Marvel had Hydra fighting Captain America and Nick Fury and S.H.I.E.L.D. and so on and so forth. So that's how Cobra came to be. It was in a line meeting at the behest of Hasbro for the Marvel G.I. Joe comic, and that's where Cobra Commander and Cobra Faction came to be, and the enemy of G.I. Joe. All right, let's get into a little bit of this. I wanted to showcase the second page as well. There's also this page that has some design, different design elements. for Cobra Commander down there as well, sculpting and the legs and the body and the paint apps and so on and so forth. So there's a lot of stuff on Cobra Commander. Obviously, there should be. Okay, alternate names NA, year release 1982 and 1983, designed by Ron Rudat, Cobra Commander. Now, Ron Rudat did design the Cobra logo. So this logo that is on my t-shirt here, that was designed by Ron Rudat. Hasbro owns it, not Ron Rudat, by the way. The concept of an enemy group, Cobra, came from the first creative meeting where Hasbro's marketing team met with Marvel regarding the upcoming G.I. Joe comic. When Archie Goodwin, editor, and Larry Hama, writer for Marvel, asked who the Joe team would be combating, the assumption from Hasbro's marketing team was that they consider all the other action figure toys in the marketplace at the time as the enemy. After further discussion, the idea of Cobra Commander and Cobra Command and Cobra Commander came to fruition. Following this meeting, Ron Rudat, product designer, was given the task of creating 3 characters for the new faction labeled Cobra. In doing so, Ron generated renderings for Cobra Commander, the Cobra Officer, and the Cobra Trooper. Due to time constraints, manufacturing schedules, and the limited number of staff at that time, only the Cobra Soldier and the Cobra Officer were released as open stock characters. Simultaneously, Cobra Commander was offered as a premium or promotional character through the mail, as well as an exclusive character release with the Sears exclusive Missile Command headquarters in 1982. To receive the Cobra Commander through the mail, the consumer had to send in 5 flag points from any G.I. Joe product, as well as 50 cents to cover postage and handling. Kurt Bazigian, product manager, shared that the response exceeded anyone's projections and expectations. Due to the popularity and demand for Cobra Commander, in 1983, he was released as an open stock character release and an assortment. So there you go. And I think that is everything on Cobra Commander. So then we're going to go to Carson Metaxas' series of books. Oh, sorry guys, I didn't see you there. Hello, Universal Joe Collector, and hello everybody in the chat. Woody, good morning. Hello, Super Dave in chat. Thank you. And everybody's saying hello to everybody now. All good. So there you go. I got a few things I want to talk about after this. So make sure you guys hang in there with me. We're going to try to cover everything. Oops. So I guess Core Commander must be in. Yeah, he's in this one. There he is, right there. All right. So there's obviously the vintage package Cobra Commander next to Destro. Destro there. And he is pretty much like a mixture of both of these vintage package Hasbro figures. So there you go. Hello, Brandon. Hey, y'all. Here, everybody's doing good. Hey, Brandon. Yep. Everybody's saying hi in the chat again. So that is volume number 1 from Carson Metaxas 3D Joe's Collecting the Art of G.I. Joe series of books. So then we got G.I. Joe number 1, Cobra Commander's first appearance in a Real American Hero Marvel series, G.I. Joe from the 80s. And then obviously he had his first Sunbow appearance in the Mass Device. The Mass Device episode 1 of G.I. Joe through Sunbow animated series. So then we have vintage Cobra Commander. Now I don't have a gun on him, but that's all right. The vintage one only came with a gun that hooked onto the back, and this is a pretty clean version of Cobra Commander, I would say. There's not that much paint scrapes on him. He's pretty solid and sturdy. Um, and this is a swivel arm one, so he must have been after they did the straight arms. I don't know. I can't remember if he had a straight arm or not version. The one that maybe was the mail away might have had the straight arm. This is the 83 one, possibly, with the swivel arm. I'm not entirely sure. So there you go. There's your vintage Cobra Commander. We'll put him back in his package. Like that. We'll put him over there next to that HasLab Cobra Commander. So that brings us to this guy. So again, so we have the Cobra logo here, and we have, this is the Mickey Mouse version, and you can see the flayed out artwork on that package. So it's not quite the same as the vintage package, in my opinion. We can look at that again just for the hell of it, because I'm curious to see how close they got to it, but I don't think it's that close. Yeah, see, if you look at the helmet on that, there, it's not as flayed out. It looks more like a bucket head there, whereas this one, it's much more flayed out on the edges. You can kind of see the edges there on that flayed out. So it's definitely different on the HasLab Cobra Commander. But on the vintage packaged one, it's also not exactly the same either. It's slightly different either too, because it was more of a half bucket, and they do have the sides on this one. So they're all three slightly different packages. They're not identical packages. But I do like both of them. They're both very distinctive. One looks a little older, one looks a little bit newer. So you can see like a lineage between the two figures and the history of the figure kind of in time based on the packages. And then this one has Cobra the Enemy up there. But they both look very good package wise. So we're going to open this up. Before we open it up, we're going to go to the back first. We have his file card, and then we have the next wave of figures. So you can see who's coming up next, Stalker and the Cobra Trooper. So it says here on his file card, Cobra Commander, classified. Role, enemy leader. Primary specialty, intelligence. Secondary specialty, ordnance, experimental weaponry. Birthplace, classified. It says, this fanatical leader rules with an iron fist. He demands total loyalty and allegiance. His main battle plan for world control relies on revolution and chaos. Very cool. Very cool for Cobra Commander. All right. So now we're going to get this out of here. We'll see how this holds up. So we're going to make sure I get the stand, because it always slips off before I can get it out. All right. So we have that. We have the legal, gobbledygook, and indicia. We'll put that back in there, and we'll put this back down here. There. So the first thing is the Cobra stand, and it has the Cobra sigil on there, the snake sigil from Cobra there. And then this is Cobra Commander with all of his accessories. So we'll pull him out first, and we'll look at all these details. Excuse the noise. All right. So just off the bat, I can tell there's a different color. There's a different color scheme with this. This one is much more royal blue, and this one is more like water blue. There is a difference in the colors to these. It may not look like it with this lighting, but there is. This is much more royal blue on the HasLab Hiss Cobra Commander, and the vintage package one is much more water blue. So there is a distinct difference in the colors. And if you look at the vintage one, the actual vintage one, it is a more of a light blue, like a sky blue, a little bit darker than a sky blue, maybe a baby blue. So there is a difference there as well. Not all three of these are the same color. So, so as I mentioned earlier, we have the white stripe there that was synonymous with a lot of the comics, I think, because I can't recall in the Sunbow animated series if he had the white stripe on there. And there's a funny story that I want to tell you guys about uh, um, as I'm doing this in a minute, but I want to get into a little bit of this first. So then you have the vac metallized mask that neither of these versions, the vintage or the HasLab, have that. So this has a distinct element that the other ones don't have. Um, so he's got more of a baby blue collar with the insignias down there. He's got the Cobra sigil on his epaulet there. Silver, a little bit of silver deco on the buttons, and this little buckle here on his belt. The belt is white. He's got another buckle that has a sigil there that's silver and red on his secondary belt with these black pouches. He also has a harness that kind of goes around the back that's black. And you can see little bits on that belt with the black there, and he has the familiar red stripe down the legs as well. The vintage one has that. The vintage one has the red stripe down there. The HasLab one has it as well. The HasLab Hiss Cobra Commander has that as well. He has a sheath on his left leg for a knife. He's got the long black gloves, whereas on the HasLab one, he's got short gloves with the rank insignia around the edge of the wrist here. So that is also a different element on that as well. You can tell the gloves are much longer. On the vintage one, he had, similar to the HasLab one, he did not have long gloves on that. So there you go. He's got the normal foot set up with the stripe going all the ways down, and the uniform kind of going around the boots there. He's got all your normal articulation points. He's got the butterflied shoulders. He's got the double pin elbows, double pin knees. He's got the crotch and leg articulation there, the normal head rocker articulation. He's got the ab crunch. He's got the wrist articulation, has a little bit of the secondary twist and the bend. And he's got the foot rocker and the secondary ankle articulation. He also has the thigh and the calf articulation. So he's got almost all the articulation points except for the secondary wrist. And I'm looking to see if it's on the gloves. No, it's not. So there you go. So it looks pretty good. I've got to say, it looks very nice. I'm very happy with the visual of it. And I like the fact that they use the vac metallized faceplate on it. It looks very Sunbow and inspired on that. So he looks really good. Let's get some of his accessories out. So first we're going to get his backpack. If we can get it out of there. There it is. All right. So we got his backpack, and it has a little some deco on there, some silver deco and some detailing. It's got a little Cobra sigil on there and some silver detailing on it on all the sides. So we're going to put that on his backpack, on his back there. There. So it looks pretty good there, like that. There. So then we have his knife, his little knife that he has here. See if I can get it out of there. It's taped in there. Now, as always, these videos are all the very first time that we're opening all these figures up. Again, we've started with the 00 Snake Eyes, and we're up to I'm gonna guess 119, and we've done two 60th anniversary legacy characters, and this is our 18th vintage package figure with Cobra Commander. So there's a little silver on that dagger with a black hilt and a little bit of silver deco on the end there. So we're going to put that into his sheath on his left leg right there, similar to the one he has on the HasLab. His Cobra Commander, he has that sheath there, and on the vintage one, you can see there's a sheath right there. So they match that to that figure. So there you go. It is in there. There. And then we're going to get his hair dryer gun. This is coined as a hair dryer gun, and the fans over the years have made it because it kind of looks like a hair dryer. You know, there's a little bitty red deco in that on those little edges there, and a little bit of wash on the end as well for that. So I'm going to put that in his, I'm going to see if I can get it in his backpack, because it's supposed to snap onto his backpack. Yep, and I got it in there. So there you go. So I have the backpack with the gun in that little holster on there. I got the knife on that there. I'm going to put him on his stand. I'm going to adjust him a little bit. We have Cobra Commander on his stand there. There's a bunch of really nice elements on this. So he's got these like pointed boots that are the same boots as the previous Cobra Commander HasLab. He's got little rank insignias on his collars that are silver deco, and little pins on the side of his epaulette there that are also silver, and the white there. There's a funny story with that I wanted to tell you guys. As a kid, I don't know, I'm 8 years old or something, between 8 and 10 years old, and I get issue, I think it's issue 20, might be 23, might be issue 23, the one where it has Storm Shadow with Cobra Commander on the claw, and it has Duke and a bunch of people in the background on a snow hill with the G.I. Joe headquarters in the background. That issue with that going on. I was a kid when I got that, and I was looking at it, and there was this thing where Cobra Commander opens up that slit on his helmet, and some weird like orange, like weird bumpy like thing was underneath there. And I guess I was not great at reading at that time, because I thought, oh, maybe Cobra is an alien, or maybe some sort of creature underneath that mask, because we didn't know what he looked like under the mask at this point. And so for years I thought, oh, he's an alien, or he's a monster or something like that. But it turned out that was plastic explosive. So if anybody tampered with his helmet to try to find out his secret identity, that thing there would explode and his head would blow up. So I totally had it wrong, but it was still just as crazy as what I thought it was. It was just something a totally different way. Larry Hama is the one that developed that, because that was in the comics. I don't believe that ever was in Sunbow. Sunbow, he ended up being something totally different, and we're going to touch on that when we get to another version of Cobra Commander down the road. So then we have a bunch of hands. So we have a pointy hand, a pointy finger hand there. We have a claw. We have a claw hand that's kind of like a like frustration at his troops for being so inept. That kind of hand. And then we have two fists. One and that out of there. All right, so there's the other fist. So let's see. I'm gonna put that over there. So what do you guys think I should do? I think I'm gonna use. I'm gonna switch his hands, and I'm gonna take the gun hand off. Get it off there. I'm gonna put the pointing finger hand on. Because I like it when he like yells at Destro, Destro, you were so incompetent! You're an idiot! I love that hand. And then I'm going to take the other hand off. And I'm going to put the frustrated claw hand on. There. And I'm going to be like doing this. I am surrounded by incompetence! I cannot believe how inept you people are! What is your problem? And that is your vintage package Cobra Commander. There. So, all right. And then I wanted to clean up something I forgot to mention yesterday. I covered this Halo jumper yesterday. And I forgot to mention that he has double butterfly shoulder articulation, double pin elbows, double pin knees, foot rocker, thigh, calf, the ab crunch, the head rocker, the wrist, and the crotch and leg articulation. I forgot to mention his articulation points yesterday. So now you guys know. And you know how that goes. Knowing is half the battle, right? All right, so what else we got? Okay, so I went to a cool convention yesterday, the Dirty South meetup, after I did my video, and I got to see a lot of friends and hang out and get a few things. I won a Valor vs. Venom Gung Ho Viper 2-pack in a raffle, and I bought 2 books about a variant cover of Disavowed by Josh Blaylock. That is the After Action Report variant cover. And I also bought a 30th anniversary like retro book that really covers a lot of old G.I. Joes from the 60s and so on. So this book came out like I think in the 80s. So I'm always buying books to learn more information. So I got, those are the only three things I bought, but I was mainly there to talk about my convention that's coming up. So any of you guys that are in the Florida area, even if you're on the edge of Georgia or the Panhandle or even Alabama or South Florida or whatever, and you can make it, I'd appreciate it. So my show is the Central Florida Joe Show. It's going to be April 19th of 2026 next year. And so we're going to have some special guests. We're going to have Adam Riches, who's a cover artist and figure package artist. We're going to have Mark Pennington, who is a designer on G.I. Joe from the 80s, who also worked on a bunch of comics like The Path, and he does a lot of his own stuff as well. And they will be doing sketches at the show. And we're trying to get another guest. I don't want to jinx it yet, but I'm still trying to get another guest. And we will be having LaCroix Studios, Matt LaCroix Studios, who does a lot of custom figures and painting for a lot of companies, O-ring style figures. His studio is going to be there. After Action Report Publishing House will be there as well, with Roger Taft. And we're going to try to get some other people like Jason Mark Sobel, who's also an independent artist, to go. And I think we should have a nice lineup of guests and tons of vintage toys: G.I. Joe, Transformers, Thundercats, Masters of the Universe, Star Wars, Star Trek, you name it. It should be a great opportunity to buy vintage toys. And we're trying to get established in Florida. It is kind of like a sister convention to Joe Fest. Good morning, Super Dave. Hey, good morning, Lone Dragon. Thanks for joining us. I appreciate it. So if you're in the Central Florida or the greater Central Florida area, maybe the edge of Georgia, the edge of Alabama, the Panhandle, Miami area, South Florida, and you have an opportunity, please come out to the Central Florida Joe Show, or I like to call it the Centflow Joe Show. It'll be April 19th in Deltona, Florida, and we will be. It'll be on a Sunday, and we will be open all day. And we have a very large dealer's room and so forth. So there'll be plenty of stuff to do. We'll also have the finest there. Joe Fest will have a booth as well. I will probably have my own booth selling some duplicates and things like that as well. So that's everything I can say about that at the moment. If you have any questions about the Central Florida Joe Show and you're interested in being a vendor, if you're on here and you want to be a vendor, please reach out to me through Central Florida or Sendflow Joe Show at yahoo.com. And if you could spread the word about the show, the more people we can get to go to the show, the more successful it will be, and we can grow it, and we can have a really nice community event every year in Florida for all the Joe collectors and fans out there. We're going to have a really good eclectic bunch of vendors that have lots of different cool stuff. So that's all I could say about that. So our next video is going to be a really big item. I was debating whether I was going to do this item with Cobra Commander, but I thought it might be too much to try to do both of them at the same time. So we're going to do that in the next one. It's a large item with a figure. It's a Cobra item, and it's going to be really fun. Really fun. I look forward to it. And then there's going to be a lot of new stuff coming after that. All the videos for next week will all be new figures and new characters and new items. So we're really having a good time for December, and I hope you guys all having a wonderful time in the holiday season. And if you missed my video yesterday, I'm going to put Cobra Commander over here. I talked a little bit about this because I said I was going to talk about it. I talked about it on yesterday's video, but I'm not sure how many people saw that. So here's the swamp skier, and there's that little doodad there. That's that leg, that sneak peek, possibly. We're not entirely sure if that's what we're getting or not. Zartan Swamp Skier. We could be getting a Battle Polar Bear with that turret there. Retro. This is the retro Battle Polar Bear there. And then we have the more updated Battle Polar Bear type vehicle from the modern era, and we have a little bit more advanced leg there with missiles and stuff like that on it. So the one that was showed off, the sneak peek, isn't exactly the same as any of these. It's slightly different for all three of these. So that's the puzzle. What is it going to be? Is it going to be Battle Polar Bear? That's what I hope. I hope it's a Battle Polar Bear, and I hope it comes with a cool figure. And I hope it's a figure we've never gotten before. I hope it's a character we've never gotten before. That's my gut feeling what it's going to be. I think it's a little too late to get the Zartan Swamp Skier. You know, if they do it I think they should do it as a vintage package, vehicle and figure with Zartan or something like that. Even though we already have 5 Zartans, that would be a 6th Zartan. So I'm not sure if I see that coming again with the Ninja Force Zartan coming out next year, for them to do 2 Zartans next year. That's my gut feeling. I don't see it happening, but I've been wrong before, and this is all speculation. And I wanted to get you guys' opinion and your take on that. Which one do you think it is? Do you think it's the Zartan Swamp Skier? Do you think it's the Battle Polar Bear vintage version, updated? Or do you think it's a modern Battle Polar Bear, a more advanced, classified up version of the Battle Polar Bear? Those are my 3 things that I think it could be, and I would like to see what you guys think about that. Let me know in the chat what you guys think, so I can bring that up and talk about it. Cobra Commander version 1 vintage package is complete. It looks really nice. I think they did a really good job with this one. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and let me know if you guys enjoy this figure, if you think it's a cool figure, or if you don't like it, or which version do you prefer better, the HasLab one or this one? Because there's a third one similar to these 2 coming down the road. So what do you guys think about that little piece? Do you think it's going to be Swamp Skier, the Battle Polar Bear vintage with a little update, or do you think it's going to be a modern Battle Polar Bear, completely new, updated for classified line? You think it's a Coastal Defender? If they did the Coastal Defender, I think they would get more complaints for the Coastal Defender than any vehicle or figure they ever got, because the Coastal Defender is terrible. Sorry to say, Lone Dragon, and I know you're kidding with me about that, but I'm serious. It's a terrible vehicle, and I will die on that hill of that being a terrible vehicle. I don't even know why they bothered with it. It's a box, and then it opens and there's a gun. What the hell? It's awful. What else? What else do you guys think? I want to hear. I want to get some feedback from you guys. I really do. I like talking to you guys, and I want to see what your inputs are and how you feel about this stuff. Anybody? Woody? Universal Toy Collector? Brandon, you don't want a box with weapons mounted on it. No, I don't. I want a cool big laser gun, a big cool launching missile complex, or some sort of a different, like the pack rats. I love all the pack rats. They're really cool. The Howl, the Flak, anything like that. I want that type of stuff. A little box with a gun that pops up when you drop the edges, that's lame. What else? Anything else, guys? No opinions on this? Lone Dragon's the only one with an opinion on this. All right. If you guys don't have anything else to say, then I will let you all go, I guess. But we will find out soon enough, I'm sure. Probably around February. I'm guessing February for G.I. Joe Day. We will find out what that dog harness or animal harness was that we got a sneak peek on back in, I think it was New York Comic Con. You're so funny, Lone Dragon. Cobra will never see that box coming. You're right. They wouldn't see that box coming because it's so lame and so inept that they're like, wait a minute, this can't be a weapon. It's just a box. And then all of a sudden, boom, it pops open and blasts whatever is near it. Yeah, you're right. You're 100% correct on that, Lone Dragon. What was I saying? Oh, so then I think we will get that dog handle or animal harness sneak peek probably revealed on GI Joe Day. We'll also get this turret revealed on GI Joe Day. We'll probably get the the Royal Guard will probably be up for pre-order at that point as well, and maybe Deep Six, and maybe they'll reveal how Deep Six is going to be revealed. Do you think we get? So it's been revealed he's a deluxe figure. He's a deluxe figure in that price point. He's not coming with the shark. So do you think that's a big mistake that he's not coming with a shark, or do you think he should come with the shark? Because I think it's actually a good idea if they're doing that figure as big as it's going to be with a deluxe mold, 6 feet, 6-inch scale. I don't think it would help the price point of the shark. If the price point of the shark is at the 100 scale, maybe they'll just throw in another torpedo or another diver or something in there that is smaller that will be able to fit. Because I don't know if they do Deep Six and that armor all comes off, and maybe he has a diver outfit and he has a diver helmet, you can stick him in there with that other person, that other diver, if it comes with another diver, the shark, if we get the shark separately. So it's an interesting person to discuss and to talk about, because there's a lot of options there with Deep Six. I'm very happy we're getting him. He's another 84 character. 84 is very, very close to finishing, and it's a vehicle driver, another vehicle driver. So I figured we would have to get him at some point, because either he would come with the shark or they would do him separately, because he's a fairly well-known character. There's 3 versions of that character. So I'm glad they're doing version 1 first, but as a deluxe figure. So there's a lot of characters that can be done as deluxe because of the classified scale. Like Fast Draw, he's going to be a deluxe character because with those missile launchers and all that armor that he has, he's going to obviously be a deluxe figure. Anybody that comes with a lot of weapons or a big apparatus, kind of like heavy metal or metalhead or those type of things, will come as a deluxe. And Deep Six is one of those figures. It makes sense that he would be a deluxe figure. But I still want the shark. Just like I want the water moccasin for Copperhead, and I want that missile apparatus to go with a HasLab tank as a swappable modular thing for CoverGirl to get into a tank. So I want these vehicles for these characters, but they've got to do it a certain way, I guess. So another discussion for the chat, if you guys have an opinion on that. What do you think about Deep Six, that name only drop, and how we're going to get him? Let's see. Lone Dragon. I just want a shark with a seat. Yep. You know, I would like to get 2 seats. I would like it to be a 2-seater, possibly a front seat and a back seat. It's going to be big. It's going to be big. It's going to be like a small jet. And they'll have all the movable wings and probably things underneath with the bombs and different things in the canopy. So there's going to be some really cool elements to a shark if they make it. And I think if you do 2 figures in the diver type molds, I think you could fit them in there and maybe do like a compartment that Deep Six could put his armor in or something like that, and make it a playset type of thing like the Snowcat, where you could put 2 divers in it, you could put Deep Six's armor in it if he has to land some, take his armor out, go into the water and do some maneuvers or whatever in the armor. I don't know. That's just my imagination. A 2-seater would be even better. Yeah. I think it can be done. I really do think it can be done. They did 2 seats for the Snowcat, so I think you could do a longer shark with 2 seats, and then storage compartment for the armor, Deep Six's armor. and the diver, whoever the other diver is or whatever, are their accessories as well. I don't know. It's just it's one of those things. We're just gonna have to wait and see. But I hope a lot of this stuff gets revealed for Joe Day. That's gonna be around February. Um, so the next talking point is: did you guys order the uh, Arctic Assault his his tank? Um, I ordered one. I'm going to order another one around January 4th. So I'm going to try to get them delivered separately. So then they'll come out of my credit card like in separate payments, 200 for one, 200 for another. For next Christmas time, so it won't be as bad if you take like a one big chunk payment, like $450. Because if you have the Hadro Pulse membership, the shipping is only like $6, and then there's tax on that as well. So I behoove you guys to get the Hasbro premium membership, Pulse membership, for shipping, to save on shipping if you can, because it's going to get expensive trying to get all this stuff if you don't have that shipping and that premium membership. So I got that. So I'm going to try to get them shipped separately. Hopefully they'll do that. So I did one on the 4th of December, and I'll do one like on the 3rd of January. And hopefully my plan works out and I can get two that way. But everybody can do it the way that they feel like doing it. Let's see. You'll probably order one. Was hoping it would be cheaper so I could get 3 or 4. Yeah, Lone Dragon. I understand that completely, because I was under the impression that it was going to be the $174.99 price point, but I don't know, with all the tariffs and all that stuff that happened over the summer and the fall. Maybe they had to pivot and adjust that price point, and that's why it's the $199.99 price point. I'm not happy about it either. That's why I'm trying to figure out a way to get two where it doesn't affect my budget that bad, I should say. So it's one of those things. We all have to budget. We all have to look at our finances and stuff like that. Who knows where I'll be next year? You know, I could be much better placed next year than this year was very difficult with all the Hasbro Pulse mail orders and exclusives from Target and Walmart and Amazon and all these different things, plus all the other stuff that I buy. I buy Marvel Legends, I buy Star Wars, I buy Street Fighter, I buy other things too. And so it's not cheap, especially for people like Woody. I bet Woody probably ordered 3 or 4 of them. Woody, did you order 3 or 4? Or are you just getting 1 or 2? I'm curious to find out, because I know you're a troop builder and you buy a lot more stuff than the average collector. So I'm curious how you manage that if you got a bunch. Let me know, Woody. Let the chat know as well, because I think we're interested in that. But so those are all the different talking points that have been were revealed at CCXP in Brazil. And my theory that we were going to get some sort of a Mission Brazil reveal with Claymore, or the any of the redecos of Leatherneck, Mainframe, Dial Tone, or Wetsuit, all went by the wayside. We didn't get any reveals for Mission Brazil or Claymore or any of that stuff. I'm a little surprised that they went to a convention in Brazil and we didn't get a Brazil reveal. That's kind of sad that they couldn't use that synergy for that, because they did do it with MCM London. They revealed Big Ben. So I guess our predictability on Hasbro and Classified is not really that great. So you know, that's why it's predictions and it's speculation, I guess, and that's why we can talk about all this stuff and have fun with it. So I hope we do get Mission Brazil down the road, and I hope we do get Claymore down the road. But it's one of those things. So I want to say thank you to you guys again, everybody, for tuning in and joining the chat and contributing to the conversation. I also want to thank everybody after the fact watching the show and the channel on the replay crew. It means a lot to me. All of you guys being a part of the show helps the algorithm, it helps the channel grow. So I would like you guys to share these videos out if you can, if you have an opportunity. That's the number one thing right now that'll help the channel grow. We're on our way to 200, and then we can get further than that. So we got a couple other things coming up soon, probably a comic book episode and a best of 2025 video. We'll go over our favorite classified items of the year. And so I think that's going to be cover it for today, and look forward to that next episode with that big item. It's going to be a fun episode. And then like, share, and subscribe as always. Thank you again. And this is a big Cobra episode. So we're going to go with Hail Cobra! Hail Cobra! I will get you, G.I. Joe! Ah!